All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Lions fans, are you ready for things to get silly? I don't think there was a better first round fit, a better first round pick for this Detroit Lions team than Terrion Arnold from the University of Alabama. So they actually traded up to get their guy from the Dallas Cowboys. The Detroit Lions received pick number 24, where they selected Terrion Arnold. They got a 2025 seventh round pick, and they gave the Dallas Cowboys pick number 29 and then a 2024 third round pick, which comes in at 73. Keep in mind, because of the Carlton Davis trade, the Detroit Lions had an extra third round pick. So this is a first team All-American. He's got swagger, he's got grit, he's got toughness. He's also apparently seems to be just such a great guy in general as well. But once again, you're going to pair him up with new addition Carlton Davis. Guys, he's the complete package. He's a ball hawk. He had 5 interceptions in college this past season. He's from the University of Alabama. As you saw with guys like Brian Branch last season, you really can't go wrong drafting SEC players. You really can't go wrong drafting University of Alabama players when Nick Saban was in town. So, guys, we're going to talk about this move and a little bit more about the Detroit Lions in general. But before we do, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Lions fans, love and appreciate you guys. As always, Brad Holmes continues to do his thing. If we could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So keep in mind, you lost a couple of players, right? You lost Cam Sutton due to unforeseen instances, and you lost CJ Gardner-Johnson to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Detroit Lions this time last season had huge rushing defense issues. So what did they do? They addressed it in free agency and they addressed it in the draft, and they were a top 5 rushing defense last season. Last year, this past season, even though Detroit ended up winning 12 football games, they ended up going to the conference championship game, their pass defense was ranked 27th in the NFL. So you lost critical players in Cam Sutton and you lost CJ Gardner-Johnson. So you trade for Carlton Davis, and now you trade up from your first round pick and select Terrion Arnold. Guys, day one impact. Seriously, day one impact. In the past 2 seasons, he produced 26 passes defended, 6 interceptions in a total of 25 games and only 21 starts. So he averaged more than a pass defended per game. That's a ridiculous stat, by the way. But he also led the entire SEC in both passes defended at 17 and interceptions for 5 in the 2023 season. According to PFF's Sam Monson, opponents targeted Arnold 43 times when he was locked up in single coverage. He broke up or intercepted 14 of those attempts. So some of the strengths you're going to read about, you're going to see in the film, you're going to see very soon in a couple of months here. Very fluid athlete, physical defender. He's got a ton of versatility. He's got a ton of confidence. He's really freaking fast. He can run with receivers downfield. He's got good recovery speed. Not many wide receivers in the NFL can get behind him. Now, his big inconsistencies, according to the analysts out there, the scouts, all that fun stuff. Inconsistent tackling technique causes him to miss some plays. Erratic eye discipline. That is not something I'm even close to being worried about. His NFL comp is Trevon Diggs. If you get Trevon Diggs, if he ends up being Trevon Diggs, yeah, watch out. You just got a star cornerback for the next 5+ seasons, hopefully. Now, keep in mind, he transitioned from safety to cornerback. Typically, that occurs, as we know, in the back end of a DB's career because of athleticism, because of age, speed, all that fun stuff. He transitioned from safety to cornerback and thrived. It's very similar to L'Jarius Sneed over in Kansas City, or now he's in Tennessee. You get what I'm saying. He entered Alabama as a 5-star recruit, but he did have to work his way into a starting role. He redshirted as a freshman. He then started the transition. It feels weird saying that word. Sorry, neither here nor there. He started the transition to cornerback where he wasn't guaranteed a job. And once again, we mentioned that stat a while back ago. He was eventually benched actually during the 2022 campaign. But last season, absolute breakout, phenomenal, All-American, 63 tackles, 6.5 of those were for loss. He had a sack, 5 interceptions. He had a forced fumble. He had 12 passes defended. Guys, this is probably right there with Quinyon Mitchell and Wiggins. This is one of the best cornerbacks in the draft. And we're going to pair him up in Aaron Glenn's scheme We're going to pair him up with a veteran, an OG veteran who, I hate using that word because when I say the word veteran, I kind of think about like a 32, 33-year-old. That's not anything close to Carlton Davis's age, but you're giving him a proven cornerback one to pair him up with. And once again, Brian Branch had such a phenomenal season last year. So guys, Detroit, is going to be drafting later today. By the way, speaking of the draft, you guys showed up massively. Oh my goodness gracious. I could not believe the crowd that I saw last night. That was awesome. That was electric. I love the energy the Lions fans showed when they made their trade up and that draft pick. It was phenomenal. And one thing I do know for sure, Brad Holmes, I don't care if it's the first round, second round, third round, seventh round, undrafted. This guy's got an eye for talent. And the film speaks for itself. The stats speak for itself. Terrion Arnold, I think, has a very special career in Detroit on his way. It's also important to note, along with the Amik Robertson addition from the Las Vegas Raiders and the Carlton Davis trade, they also made a couple of defensive moves with DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport in free agency. But we're going to pair up. If Davenport can stay healthy, folks, watch out. On paper, here's your roster. Here's your starting roster on paper defensively, all right? Marcus Davenport, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, rising star, right? Aiden Hutchinson, rising superstar. Alex Anzalone coming off a career season. Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell. It also gets very deeper with guys like James Houston, Carlton Davis, Melifanu, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch. Guys, I can't wait for Brian Branch's second year. I know it's neither here nor there, but so once again, the Detroit Lions, you got a second round pick, you got a third round pick, you got a couple of draft picks left. Brad Holmes is certainly going to find some starting caliber players at the very minimum. Hopefully he can find a couple of more stars. We'll, keep talking about this as the days goes on, but I wanted to get this first round video out because, I was driving when this happened and I just love it. I love the pick. Pick number 29, they probably would have been able to come away with a good guy. But I like it when you have your guy and you don't want him to fall, you make a move and you trade up for him. As far as the actual draft package goes, once again, the Lions received pick 24 and a 2025 7th round pick from the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys received the Lions 29th pick and then their extra third round pick at 73. I wouldn't sweat it at all. I think it was good value. I think, once again, when you have a guy, you believe he's your guy, and you don't want an opposing team to grab him, you got to trade up and you got to make a move. So, especially in the first round, that trade value is, I wouldn't even bat an eye about that. So, thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. We'll get a ton of Terrion Arnold content and film and highlights and all that stuff on the way as the draft progresses. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon with the Detroit Lions video. So yeah, let me know, give me a grade letter down below. I'm gonna go A- at the very minimum. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.